Forensic medicine had announced the decision to upgrade the autopsy to include homicide tests for DNA. It was Louise's second week as technical manager of the Special Search Agency, a newly established unit of the department. Each year, 1,600 to 1,700 people were reported missing in Denmark. Many turned up again, and some were found dead. But according to the assessment of the National Police, there was a crime behind 1 out of 5 of the unsolved missing person reports. Her department was tasked with investigating these cases. Louise got out and locked the car. She didn't quite understand why they needed her at the autopsy when Ike Nordstrom was already there. He had been off on vacation the past 4 weeks, so he was the only person in the department that she hadn't yet met. It was Louise who had gone through the list of missing persons on Friday afternoon and discovered that none of the missing women matched the description of the woman found in the woods. Perhaps Reinhold felt that she ought to be present for the examination of the deceased as well. Or it could simply be because she had come from the homicide department and had more experience dealing with autopsies than her new colleagues. The move was an unusual step down, to be sure, driven by an excruciating decision Louise had felt compelled to reach. She'd make the best of it, but she wasn't thrilled to be here. It actually felt nice to be tasked with something she knew how to navigate after a week of unfamiliar territory. Louise hadn't foreseen the hopeless feeling when starting a new job of forgetting people's names and not knowing where to find the copier. She had spent the first week organizing the rat hole. Heck of a name, she thought, hoping that it wouldn't stick. She was already growing a bit weary of her colleagues' witty comments about the unused rooms at the end of the hall. The 2-person office was above the kitchen and had been empty since pest control had dealt with a considerable rat infestation last spring. But the rats were gone now, and no one had seen them since, her new boss assured her. Ragnar Reinhold had done his part to get the new department in order, purchasing new office chairs and bulletin boards along with a number of plants. The chief superintendent had a personal preference for orchids and apparently felt that some greenery was what was needed to bring life into the unused office. That was all very well, Louise thought. But what really mattered to her was the fact that she sensed his commitment. Ragnar Reinhold was clearly determined to get this new subunit up and running. They had been granted 1 year to prove that there was a need for the special unit, and Louise had everything to gain. If this new job did not become permanent, she risked ending up a local detective somewhere in the district. "You decide who you want on the team," Reinhold had generously told her when he introduced her to the idea of heading the Special Search Agency. Since then, she had considered at length who might be suitable prospects, and the final candidates on her list were all people with whom she had worked before, experienced and competent. First on the list was Saran Valin from the Mobile Task Force. He was used to working all over the country and had good contacts at many local police stations. But he liked his current position, so Louise didn't know how easily he would transfer. The question also remained whether Reinhold would match his current salary. Then there was Sire Gilling from the fraud department. He was great at thinking outside the box. But he was an albino, sensitive to bright daylight, and she was not sure that she could stand always working behind closed curtains. Finally, there was Lars Jarnsen, her most recent partner in the homicide department. They knew each other inside and out, and she felt comfortable working with him. There was also no question that this type of work would suit his temperament, as well as his status as a single dad to 2 boys from Bolivia. So there were several promising candidates. Louise just hadn't decided yet which one she should try to reel in first. Outside the door to the autopsy unit, she spotted Osir from the Center of Forensic Services. The slender woman was crouched next to her briefcase, but stood up, smiling, as Louise approached. "We snapped a couple of photos for you before we really got started," she told Louise after they said hello. "Just of the face, in case you decide to ask the public for help in identifying her." "Yes, it looks like that might become necessary," Louise conceded, even though pictures like that always caused a stir. Some people felt showing the faces of the deceased was too morbid.